Hi, good evening to all of you. Today again I am coming here with a recent topic which is recently in news since few days. Earlier it was also in news, but why I had covered today this topic because recently it is in news. What is the topic? Topic is here the India's fifth generation aircraft. So I am going to discuss here the India's fifth generation fighter jet, that is AMCA, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. So first, I'm going to tell you where you can read this topic, where it can lies in the syllabus. So when you go through the syllabus, basically this topic linked to the science and technology. When you consider this topic, it is the part of the general studies paper 3 in mains. You go through the main syllabus. This topic is related to the science and technology, and in the science and technologies when you look at the syllabus there are various technologies you have to learn. Say for example the biotechnology, you have to learn the IT and ITES, the information technology and information technology enabled services. Then robotics, another technology is in the syllabus. Nanotechnology, but this topic is related to the defense technology. Apart from that, when you look at the science technology also covers the energy sector. So efficient energy technology, you have to few questions appear from this topic also. So you have to cover basically when you look at the present trend, and if you cover this nuclear or energy technologies here, basically non-renewable energies are covered in the recent past when you look at the news, non-renewable and renewable. And out of that, when you look at one technology which is specifically mentioned is the nuclear technology. So nuclear energy is in the syllabus basically. Okay, nuclear energy technology. So when you get the thrust, but apart from that, if you look at the question related to the renewable source, the questions in the recent past, when you go through the questions of a decade, when you find the question from solar technology, wind technology, lake tidal, okay, there are lots of. But my focus here that today I have taken the topic from the defense technology. So when you are preparing this paper 3 of the GS, okay, the science and technology part. So defense technology is one subtopic you have to cover, out of which you may learn this present topic, which is in news. I'm going to discuss today India's fifth generation fighter jet. Okay, so why this India's fifth generation fighter jet is in news? Because on Tuesday, okay, the government has given the approval for the execution of this project. That's why it is in news. Okay, so let's see why it is in news. Now, as you know, what is the motto of the Indian Air Force? Touch the sky with the glory. This is the motto of our Indian Air Force. And why the government is giving thrust over the fifth generation fighter jet? Earlier we had talked with the Russia, but later we just delinked the project because of some technical know-how. Okay, and the government has working over this project, but recently the government, as I have said, announced to execute this project. Okay, why this project is essential? Now, when you look at the recent classes, when you look at the role of the military out of that, when you look at the military actions globally, okay, what you find that the role of the Air Force is increasing right now in the present decade. Earlier, the role of army was paramount, and the areas having the coastal locations or the maritime areas having the naval force, which is very, very prominent. But when you look at the recent warfare, okay, so what you find that the air force of different nations play a very crucial role. So now the nature of combat has changed. And if you look at the escalation between Russia and Ukraine, the escalation of the war between Palestine and Israel, and the recent escalation between India and Pakistan, okay, we had targeted the Pakistan's the hideouts of the terrorists in the Pakistan, and where what you observe that the Air Force play a very crucial role. Okay, so what is the motto of the Air Force? As you know, that touch the sky with the glory, and our Air Force, okay, play a very, very significant role in combat. So now, why this fifth generation aircraft is important? Because of their stealth capacity as well as their speed and combating ability. So let's understand, as I have said, why this is in news. Okay, because recently the government has given the approval for the execution of the project. So India has cleared its ambitious advanced medium combat aircraft, in short AMCA program. Okay, abbreviation is Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. This program, under this, we built the fifth generation stealth fighter jet project that aims to elevate the Indian Air Force elite club of next gen aerial combat nation. Now, if you look at this technologies, okay, this advanced medium combat aircraft, okay, this aircraft at present having the US having this AMCA, the fifth generation aircraft, the Russia having this fifth generation aircraft, as well as the fighter jet, as well as the China having. Further, I will discuss. And recently in the February, the Turkey also, okay, the Turkey also tested their fifth generation aircraft. So when you look at all these, so India is going to be part of this elite club. India become the fourth country after US, Russia, as well as China. And recently, as I've said, the Turkey has also, okay, tested their first fifth indigenously built with the help of foreign collaborations. Okay, their fifth generation aircraft called Khan. So later I will discuss. And who announced this project execution? Our Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Okay, recently on Tuesday, today it is Thursday, so in on Tuesday announced the execution of this project. That's why I have said this project is in. Now let's understand what is AMC. Okay, what is Advanced Medium Combat, okay, aircraft? If you look at the definition given by the aeronautical, okay, defense establishment. So the aeronautical defense agencies has explained it. AMCA, they defined how you can define what is AMCA. It is a medium weight. So further I will also explain about its weight and the features. Okay, multi-role fighter jet. Okay, and what is the characteristics feature with twin engine? When you look at the engine is specifically sixth generation. The India is planning to what used sixth generation engine. This is the plan of India. deep penetration, stealth aircraft. What is the meaning of stealth? That is the quality of being unseen and undetected by a specific radar system, by the enemy's ground defense radars and aircraft. So these are the stealth, fifth generation aircraft are the stealth aircraft, okay, having this capacity. So this is the definition of AMCA. What is the AMCA? Now, when you look at the AMCA project, who will handle this project? The DRDO. And what are the agency under DRDO which will take care of this project? The ADA, Aeronautical Development Agency. So this is the defense establishment under the DRDO, Aeronautical Development Agency, the ADA. Okay, so that defense establishment of India, the Aeronautical Development Agencies, ADA, under the DRDO, okay, will lead this project, the project AMCA. Now, you have to keep in mind, now when you look at this advanced medium combat aircraft, now when it inducted in the Air Force, now what it will work along with the Tejas light combat aircraft. So what I have said, advanced medium, okay, combat aircraft it is, and we have already what light combat aircraft. So this fifth generation aircraft, what it will fill up the gap and what enhance our combating ability. Try to understand. So along with the Tejas, it will what enhance our Air Force abilities. Okay. So the India's aerial strike power in the coming decades, okay, will improve after induction or completion of this project. Try to understand. Okay. Because we had already built Tejas, which is working. Okay. Now, what are the capability? So what are the basic capability of the advanced medium combat aircraft? Okay, the India is going to build here indigenously, and it is a leap towards Atmanirbharta, because what the India is planning, okay, to develop indigenously built technologies, and which it is a greater leap. Okay, we are moving towards okay a newer technology. So now when you look at AMCA is more than just a jet and India's answer to stealth heavy fighter generation warfare. And now when you look at this capability, as I have said, they have the twin engines, 25-ton aircraft will feature cutting edge stealth AI assisted electronic piloting. So now what is the feature? The AI assisted electronic piloting. Artificial intelligence builds electronic piloting systems are there, okay, as well as internal weapons base designed for long range air to air missiles and precision guided bombs. So they had the weapons base where the weapons has been kept in the fighter jets, okay, that is specifically designed where missiles can be put, and the missiles from the air to surface as well air to air. Apart from that, the precision guided bombs are also included in that weapons bay along with the fifth generation fighter aircraft, that is advanced medium combat aircraft. Okay, now so when you look at this, it also comes with the net centric warfare system, as well as the advanced avionics system will be integrated here with this fighter jet, and integrated vehicle health management for predictive maintenance is also there. This is the characteristics feature of this AMCA. Okay, now these features enables what it enables the seamless coordinations with the unmanned aerial vehicle in real time combat scenarios. Okay, So it will coordinate with the unmanned aerial vehicle. What? So the fifth generations having these features or the capability, and this capability help to coordinate with the unmanned aerial vehicles. Try to understand. So if the government has developed it, okay, that will what, as I have said, enhance the air force strike capability. Try to understand why, because of this capability. Now let's understand other features. Okay, according to the India Today reports, the jet will have the speed of nearly 2600 kilometer per hour in Mach. When you look at almost around 2.15 Mach. So this will be the speed as per the reports of the media I'm talking about. Okay, now as well as the combat range of 1620 kilometer. This is the combat range. From here they can strike the enemies, okay, aircraft, and the fighter will be equipped with 23 cannon. So they have the cannon, okay, and 14 hard point to carry the weaponry weighing 6,500 kgs, internal as well as external weight, including 6,500 kg, because internal bay capacity is of 1,500 kg only. Try to don't get confused. मीन्स इसका मतलब है अंदर में जो वेपन्स होंगे फाइटर क्राफ्ट के साथ वो 1500 केजी के होंगे, जिसमें मैंने कहा एयर टू एयर मिसाइल, सरफेस टू एयर मिसाइल्स, ओके, प्रिसीजन गाइडेड बम्स आर देयर. ओके, so now the defense sources say that the advanced medium combat aircraft will carry, according to media report, the BrahMos next generation air to ground missile. So the weaponry bay has been created like that, where we can kept the BrahMos, which strike from air to surface, that is ground. Astra, we have the Astra missile, so we can use the Astra air to air missiles. So we can use it here in the fifth generation aircraft AMCA. Another feature, it has anti-tank missile also, and the Rudram air to ground anti-radiations missile. So you can understand that how advanced this stealth aircraft is. Apart from that, laser guided bombs and the precision munitions are also there. Okay, so it having the vast capacity to carry the different kind of missiles, air to surface, BrahMos, Astra air to air. Apart from that, it having the capacity to carry what, the anti-tank missiles, as well as the Rudram air to ground anti-radiations missile, laser guided bombs and other munitions. Okay, so you can understand how advanced this aircraft, okay, and why the India is in dire need to create this, okay, because our close enemy, the China, having already the fifth generation aircraft, okay, so we have to. And as you know, in the recent escalation, China openly support Pakistan. So we have to, okay, what, improved our combating ability and stealth ability, and that's why the Air Force has asked to the government to induct, and the government has given the red signal, the green signals for this project, and the recent approval. Okay, now when you look at another, the typical qualities of fifth generation fighter like low observability and the first look, first kill capability are unavailable in the most front rank fighter jet. So try to understand. First, when you look at the enemy aircraft, you strike down. This ability in the IF inventory, not even with the Rafale. So that's why this is very much required. So keep in mind this term, first look, first kill ability of the fifth generation aircraft. Okay, the AMCA will be designed to perform a variety of missions, including air supremacy, ground strike missions, as well as suppression of enemy air defenses. Okay, apart from electronic warfare. So in future, this AMCA will lead several projects or several missions. Okay, so what I have said earlier, now the trend of the war had changed. Now unmanned aerial vehicle, stealth aircraft, okay, the fighter jets with the fast maneuvering multi-role ability are used by the enemies. So we have to prepare it, okay, and that's why this project is vital for India. Now, when you look at, according to the India Today reports, when you look at, I had mentioned, okay, the aircraft internal fuel tank will hold up to 6.5 tons and giving it extended operational range. So you can understand the capacity of the internal fuel tank 6.5 ton. Okay, so their maneuverability capacity is very high. So maneuvering capacity is high. Multi-role aircraft, as I have said. And now, according to the Indian Express, when you look at the internal weapons by will carry a payload up to 1500 kg. तो मैंने आपको बताया था अभी कि इंटरनल जो वेपनरी बे है उसमें कैपेसिटी क्या है 1500 kg का, ठीक है ना. So that can carry the warhead of 1500 kg. Okay. It. So now when you look at 1500 kg, okay, the internal capacity of the weaponry bay, where what I have said, surface to air missile like BrahMos we can kept this fifth generation aircraft may carry in future, as well as air to air the Astras. Apart from that, another precision guided bombs they can carry. Even they can carry the Rudram, okay, the air to surface, okay, that radiations missiles. Now, what are the another important feature of this aircraft? That is the engine. As I have said, there is a twin engine. Now, as I have said, this project was handled by or led by the aeronautical development agencies under DRDO. But when we talk about engine, so now the reports stated that the engines may be, this technology may be, okay, developed by the joint venture with the foreign agencies. Okay, and according to the media report, what it surfaced that India is planning to take this technology through France. So further in future, we will clearly tell because that is the media report. We cannot rely on that. But yes, of course, the government have been planning to purchase the engines or the technologies or to develop the technology with the joint venture. Okay, with the Indians agencies along with the foreign one. So here what I have, the most critical component, the engine, likely to be developed through joint venture with foreign original equipment manufacturer. DRDO says to mitigate risk and accelerate development. Okay, earlier as you have heard about a engine Kaveri, okay, which was fourth generation engine. Okay, we had prepared and we had used in the Tejas. Okay, but further it was delinked and this engine project was in crisis. So recently this engine Kaveri was also in news. So today I am going to discuss about this Kaveri engine. But what I have said that, what I have written here, that Kaveri is a fourth generation engine. Okay, but what is the plan of the government of India? What kind of Indian engine they wanted to use here in the fifth generation AMCA, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, they wanted to use the sixth generation engine. So the Kaveri is not used here in AMCA. The government is planning, and that's why the government is planning for the joint venture with the foreign original equipment manufacturer. Okay, what is the reason behind this? Because we wanted the advanced engine, and that's why we are not selecting Kaveri or using Kaveri there. But what I have said, Kaveri recently in news. Why? Because this engine project was in problem. Now, when you look at according to the economic times, okay, when you go through the economic times, what information I have learned, the AMCA project cost currently stands at 15,000 crore, and not only ET but various newspaper had covered. So as per the report, what will be the cost? 15,000 crore. Now it's very interesting, and we are going to prepare this in a decade because DRDO has committed to delivering AMCA by 2035. Okay, and out of this cost, we are going to develop what? The five, okay, five prototypes. But we are going to develop five prototypes, okay, with this cost, okay, and this has been approved in 2024 March, okay. The Cabinet Committee on Security has finalized this in 2024. Right now, the Defence Minister has given the approval, means announced. So now the project execution begins. And what is the plan of DRDO? The plan of DRDO, because under DRDO, ADA led this project, Aeronautical Development Agency, that led the project, and they confirmed that they had stated that they try to, okay, complete this prototypes, the five prototypes till 2035. Now, when you look at when the US has prepared their fighter uh, aircraft fifth generation, okay, they had taken more than 10 years. When you look at the Russia, China, okay, so this is the standard time period that will be taken by the, okay, DRDO right now. So you have to keep in mind that what the DRDO has stated, they are committed to delivering AMCA by 2035. Now, the another information about the engines, when we talk about the most critical component, as I have said, is engine, is developed through joint venture. Again, I had already discussed. And why we are not inducting Kaveri? Because it is a fourth generation engine, and we are planning to use advanced engine. So we are going for the what? Okay. And now, as you know, the government has planned. So ADA having this task, आपको पता है कि एडीए के पास ये दिया गया है टास्क, वो लीड कर रहे हैं प्रोजेक्ट्स को, एज आई हैव सेड. सो एडीए will soon issue an expression of interest to invite the bids for the development phase. So here the Indian companies may participate, as well as the foreign companies also can participate in this bid. So, and signaling the start of a new chapters in India's quest for advanced indigenous fighter technology. Okay, तो द प्रोजेक्ट, मैंने कहा ग्रीन सिग्नल मिल चुका है. ओके, और अब एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो है इनवाइट करेंगे. अब एक वर्ल्ड अक्रॉस व्हेन यू लुक एट, ओके, देयर आर certain countries having already this fifth generation fighter jets or advanced medium combat aircraft. What are these countries are? First, the US, when you look at, okay, because the first fifth generation aircraft, that is F-22 Raptor, okay, was inducted by the US in 2006. Okay, when it was inducted in the 2006, if you look at this. Okay. And the cost when you look at is almost 5.5 lakh crores. Okay, the cost of, okay, production. Now, when you look at F-35 Lightning II, it was also a fifth generation aircraft prepared by the Lockheed Martin, the US company. Okay, and it was prepared in 2015. So this project finalized in 2015. Okay, and when you look at the cost will be almost around 3 lakhs crore. Okay, now when you look at the Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon, this fifth generation aircraft is of China. So China has already built, okay, 2017, okay, 2017-18 they had inducted, okay, with the cost of almost around the 3.5 lakhs crore. And when you look at the Sukhoi 57 Felon, this is the fifth generation aircraft AMCA of Russia. Okay, when it this project has been finalized and completed in 2020. So these are the three countries already having, okay, what, the fifth generation fighter jet, the advanced medium combat aircraft, okay, having multi-role and stealth capacity, okay, and they had the capacity to use the air to surface missile as well as air to air missile apart from the precision bomb, okay, or munition. But recently in the February 21, okay, the Turkey conducted the maiden test flight of its indigenously developed fifth generation stealth fighter jet. And what is the name of the Turkey jet? Khan. Okay. And it is developed by the Turkish Aerospace Industries with the joint venture and with the BAE system of the UK. So UK has supported to develop the Khan. So they had also prepared this with the help of the foreign agencies who the Turkey try to understand. So the Turkey already what they tested, okay. The maiden test was conducted on the February 21st. What was the name? Khan. Okay. So now, so as we built, we become the part of this elite club. And when the ADA has or the DRDO has committed to deliver it 2035. Okay. Now, meanwhile, when you look at the Indian Air Force, okay, also in the process of acquiring 114 multi-role fighter aircraft, okay, to enhance its operational readiness. And for that, in April 2019, the IAF issued the request for information for the procurement estimated around US $18 billion. Okay. And the MRFA, as I have said, multi-role fighter aircraft, okay, considered one of the largest military procurement program globally in the recent years. So if it was, okay, inducted, that what, it enhance our stealth as well as combating activity. Now, so apart from discussion of this AMCA, let's come to the Kaveri engine. What I have said, the Kaveri, we had built this Kaveri, okay, but Kaveri, why in news? Because of bad reason. What is the reason? Because this project was affected negatively. Okay, the project has faced significant setback, and the government tried to denounce this project. But again, the government is what? Revive this project. Why? Because of a campaign. What was the name of that campaign? The campaign was, might have heard recently in news, the campaign was Fund Kaveri. This was the campaign. So this campaign was led by the defense enthusiast, okay, the ex-military personnel as well as the several NGOs and the common intelligentsia class is also there. So that campaign was in news on social media. Okay, it was a social media campaign. So it may be asked in the recent examinations what is Fund Kaveri engine, because the people's asked government to revive this project. So let's learn about Kaveri. This engine, as I have said, was a fourth generation engine. Okay, refers to an indigenously developed turbo engine used in the light combat aircraft programs, and it is designed and developed to propel the fighter jets also. Earlier, we had planned to use it, the Kaveri, to the unmanned aerial vehicle as well as the fifth generation. But now the ADA has planned, or the government has planned, to use the sixth generation engine in the AMCA, as I have said. And this Kaveri used in the unmanned aerial vehicle. Okay. Now, why this Kaveri is in news? As I have said, this engine or Kaveri project was spearheaded by the DRDO's Gas Turbine Research Establishment. This is another DRDO establishment. Okay, Gas Turbine Research Establishment based in Bangalore. But the project, as I have said, faced significant setback and delays due to various challenges. What are the challenges the project faced? And that's why the people came for the rescue and laid a campaign which is called the Fund Kaveri Engine campaign on a social media. What are the challenges faced by this engine, okay, Kaveri engine project? The requirement for the complex advanced technologies, that is a challenge. Another challenge faced by this project is the Western sanction, the various lack of skilled manpower in India. Apart from that, a major reliance on the foreign setup were the key reason for its delay. So this project delayed, okay, and that's why it was a great challenge, okay. And further, because of delay of this project, okay, now as the DRDO stated that the concurrent certification coverage was provided, okay. Once you look at RCMAE certification methodology for the fighter jet engines has been evolved for raw material, components, system, LRUs, and full engine level qualification for the first time in India. And that is also create a hurdle because you have to get that standards. Getting my point? You have to fulfill that standard also. That is another challenges. So because of these various challenges, there was a great setback to the Kaveri engine project. And in 2008, the project was delinked from the Tejas program, light combat aircraft. इज गोइंग टू यूज दिस कावेरी इंजन, उसको डीलिंग कर दिया 2008 में। ठीक है, अब ये सारे चैलेंजेस आ रहे थे उसके कारण, but the derivative version is being developed and the project has been adapted for the India's fifth generation fighter aircraft, the advanced medium combat aircraft. But earlier what the government ने कहा कि नहीं, इसका derivation निकालेंगे और उसको AMCA में यूज। बट फाइनली अभी जो AMCA है उसके अंदर मैंने क्या कहा कि द गवर्नमेंट इज प्लानिंग टू परचेज द टेक्नोलॉजी और डेवलप द टेक्नोलॉजी विद द हेल्प ऑफ फॉरेन एजेंसीज। ठीक है ना, उसके साथ ज्वाइंट वेंचर में डेवलप करने का प्लान हो रहा है। ओके, सो इट ऑल्सो एम्स टू पावर अनमैन्ड कॉम्बैट एरियल व्हीकल। और अभी जो गवर्नमेंट प्लान कर रही है कावेरी इंजन को यूज करने के लिए, वो कहाँ, अनमैन्ड एरियल व्हीकल्स। सो व्हाट इज द गुड न्यूज? द गुड न्यूज इज दैट फॉर द कावेरी इज, क्या एक अच्छा न्यूज है अभी रिसेंटली, कि कावेरी जो इंजन है, ठीक है, वो इसके लिए फिर से गवर्नमेंट इस प्रोजेक्ट को रिवाइव कर रही है, एंड कावेरी इंजन अंडर गोइंग ट्रायल इन रशिया टू पावर द इंडियन कॉम्बैट अनमैन्ड एरियल व्हीकल। सो it is a great revive of this project. And why the government is now serious about this? Because of the Fund Kaveri in campaign. Okay, so recently it will take almost a week, okay, to for the test trial in Russia, okay, according to the media reports. So after a week you can find out the new development about this Kaveri. Okay, so it has revived. So this is the news. So I had discussed about AMCA as well as the Kaveri engine. Why the Kaveri engine? Because I had discussed why in AMCA we are not planning to use Kaveri but the sixth generation. Okay, but the Kaveris in this project is revived. Another, okay, uh, defense technology which is in news recently is the directed energy weapons and the future warfare. So let's understand what is the directed energy weapon and the future warfare. Why this is in use? What is this? Okay. What is directed energy weapon and how it is used in future? Okay. It is again a modern technology. Okay. Which is based on laser beam. So now when you look at separately, as I have mentioned, India has demonstrated another leap in the futuristic warfare. Because as I have said, the nature of warfare has changed in the recent past, and continuously what the new technology has been. Okay, so we have to upgrade our technology, and in that course the Indian Air Force now has, or the India has demonstrated another futuristic warfare, a successful test of 30 kilowatt directed energy weapons. So this directed energy weapons, okay, used in the future warfare. What is the directed energy weapon? It is capable of neutralizing drones, unmanned air vehicle and the drones, okay, and the electronic surveillance assets it can also damage. So what is the feature of this directed energy weapon? That such weapon can neutralizes not only the drones or the unmanned air vehicle, but also the electronic surveillance systems of India. Now, when you look at the Mark II-A laser system developed by DRDO's Center for High Energy Systems and Sciences, CHESS. What is the abbreviation? It is a Center for High Energy System. So DRDO's Center for High Energy System and Sciences, in short CHESS, okay, shot down multiple drones because, as I have said, they had successfully tested 30 kilowatt directed energy weapons. So this Center for High Energy System and Sciences, Chase, what they did, they tested successfully, okay, 30 kilowatt directed energy weapon and shot down multiple drones, not a single drone, but multiple drones, okay, during the trials at Nation Open Air Range at Kurnool. So where that? Kurnool, okay, they tested this directed energy weapons. Now when you look at through this image, okay, this laser, okay, so the weapon is expected to have a range of about a mile and a quarter, almost 2 kilometer ranges, okay, and be able to take down the jets or drones, that is the unmanned air vehicle, as well as I have said electronic surveillance systems of the enemy countries, okay. When this laser beam is directed through this, okay, that will create a hole by burning, okay, and damage what? The unmanned air vehicle or the fighter jets or surveillance system of enemy nations, okay. It could also bring down an aircraft by blinding air crew. देखो ये लेजर बीम आ रहा है, okay. So it could also bring down an aircraft by blinding air crew or destroying its capability by overloading its sensor with the lights, okay. So with this test, India joined the select group of countries including US, Russia and China. Again, this technology is with the US, Russia and China, okay. This laser guided direct energy weapon. So now India become, okay, in this elite club, okay, with demonstrated high energy laser capabilities. So this is the another technology which is in news. We have the another weapons, okay, which will prove vital in the future warfare. So this is enough for today, and I will discuss the another topic next, okay, class. Thank you very